All-Star games. Do any of you guys really give a damn about All-Star games? Because me personally, I think they're the biggest waste of time on both the NFL and the NBA's calendar. I can't tell you the last time that I watched one play in a Pro Bowl. Hell, most of the time, I don't even realize the Pro Bowl's being played, and I'm a diehard fan of the NFL. Every year around this time, when we get close to the NBA All-Star game, All-Star weekend, I always hear the same garbage. The All-Star game is for the fans. We do this every year for the fans. Well, then just please stop doing it. I would rather watch a competitive regular season game than watch an exhibition where the players really don't take the game all that seriously. The dunk contest hasn't been interesting in years. I take that back. I take that back. Last year's dunk contest was really good, but most of the time, the dunk contest is boring. None of the mainstream superstars want to participate in it anymore, so it's usually just Aaron Gordon from the Orlando Magic and a bunch of role players going out there and doing dunks that we have seen a million times already. LeBron James, for example, never participated in the dunk contest. I think the last mainstream level star to do the dunk contest was Dwight Howard back when he was in his prime. That was 10 years ago. Other than that, every year the NBA trots out guys that no one cares about for the dunk contest. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong here. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks All-Star Weekend is useless. Because ratings for the All-Star Game continue to remain pretty strong. Last year they had over 7 million people watch it. Hell, that outdraws some games of the NBA Finals, at least last year. Maybe I'm one of the few NBA fans that doesn't care about the All-Star Game. Wouldn't bother me if it was canceled altogether and they just continued on with the regular season. And this year, I'm not alone in that opinion. No one wants the All-Star Game to happen this year. And I mean no one. Not the players, not the city of Indianapolis, where the All-Star Game was originally going to be scheduled to be held. Not the city of Atlanta, where the league moved the game because that's where TNT's headquartered, so the production crew wouldn't have to travel. The biggest draw of NBA All-Star Weekend is the weekend itself. It really has nothing to do with what happens on the court. It's the parties, the fan events. The whole weekend is an event. You can't really do that this year. The league has strict protocols on its players. They basically want them to play basketball and go straight home. The mayor of Atlanta is begging people not to come to Atlanta for the All-Star Game. And it's not All-Star Weekend this year. They're packing everything into one day. LeBron James has come out publicly and stated that he has absolutely no desire to play in this year's game. Paul George, done the same thing. Though, who really cares what Paul George thinks? The All-Star Game is just another opportunity for Paul George to disappear on a national stage like he does in the playoffs every year. But even some of the younger players, guys who are in their first or their second All-Star Game appearance, they don't want to participate this year. Now, from a player's perspective, I think the reasoning is strictly selfish, but I understand it completely. A normal NBA offseason is between 4 and 6 months, depending on if you make the playoffs and where you exit the playoffs. But this past offseason, it was about 70 days. That is a quick turnaround. Coming into this season, the players were told that the All-Star Game was going to be canceled altogether due to the COVID. So the players were expecting to be off for a week, to rest, vacation, do whatever the hell they wanted to do. Instead, they're having to travel to Atlanta to play in a meaningless game. Why? Why is that? If everyone involved doesn't want the game to happen, then why are we having an All-Star Game? Adam Silver. Adam Silver, the worst commissioner in professional sports. Why does he insist on having the All-Star Game this season when damn near all the players are against it? When the city of Atlanta, the mayor of Atlanta, has outright uninvited the NBA without actually saying that she's uninviting them? Why is Adam Silver moving forward with the All-Star Game? It's simple, really. Money. Money. That is the only reason. It's not about the fans. It's not about the players. It is about getting a nice rating for TNT and banking as much money as possible. Now, look, on one hand, I do understand Adam Silver's thinking here. Oddly enough, he's kind of looking out for the players in a way. The NBA is in the midst of going 18 months without any revenue from the arenas, which directly impacts teams' salary cap, which directly impacts, you guessed it, player salaries. The NBA makes anywhere between $15 and $20 million during All-Star Weekend. Now, that's not a bad lick for 2 or 3 days worth of work. At this point for the NBA, every dollar counts. I imagine that the league is bleeding money right now. I wouldn't go as far as to say that they're losing money, but the NBA definitely isn't making the money that they're used to making. So from that standpoint, a financial standpoint, I get it. But come on. The COVID has destroyed the regular season this year. You have teams like Washington and Memphis who have played 17 or 18 games. Some teams have only played 23. Now, are those games going to be made up? Hell if I know. The schedule's already jam-packed as it is. How are you going to make up 14 or 15 games before the playoffs? Knowing all of this, Adam Silver, you come up with a brilliant plan to bring all the superstar players into Atlanta, into one location, in the middle of the COVID, risking infection to players that carry the league. These are superstar players, people that people tune in to watch. All for an exhibition game that nobody wants to play in? Is it really worth the risk? It only takes one player to have the virus with no one knowing, and yes, that is possible. It only takes one player to spread it to everyone else. What happens if LeBron James gets infected? Or Donovan Mitchell in Utah, who's looking like the best team in the NBA right now? Both of those guys would miss 2 weeks minimum. Jimmy Butler in Miami, he missed 3 weeks for health and safety protocols, also known as the COVID. He lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks. When I had the COVID last week, I lost 15 pounds. That could be disastrous for a team like the Jazz or the Lakers, to have your best player out for 3 weeks and then having to take the time in the middle of the season to get back in peak physical condition. But what about this? What if they infect other players on their team? Now you're looking at more missed games, more canceled games. This season's already been tough enough. None of this is worth the risk to play a meaningless all-star game that no one cares about. It's another example of Adam Silver just making a poor decision. If you've been following me on this channel for a while, you know that I'm no fan of Adam Silver. I've also been hard on LeBron James at times, but I made a video earlier this week about LeBron leading the NBA by example for trying to make the regular season matter. And this is another example of LeBron James leading by example and Adam Silver making another bad decision. Bottom line is the NBA needs to cancel the All-Star game. The players need the rest, especially this season. The NBA seems to be getting over the COVID a little bit. I believe this past week was the first time all year that not one player has tested positive. I'd rather have the superstars in the NBA rested and healthy for the late season push for the playoffs than watch them in a meaningless All-Star game that no one gives a damn about. Now, what do you guys think? Do you care about the NBA All-Star game in a normal season? Should Adam Silver do the right thing here and cancel the game this year? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys next time.